tell you a little bit about myself. I've been at several different schools. I was at University of Wyoming. I was at Kansas once before for 5 years, where at Kansas I was assistant strength coach and I also coached corners for 3 years there. Then left there with the Southern Miss for 5 months, where I coached corners. Went to Indiana. I was there for 4.5 seasons with their men's basketball team. I was the head strength coach for men's basketball there, and then now I'm the director of strength and conditioning for football again at Kansas, and it's great to be back. It's a lot different situation coming back this time than it was last time. I decided to speak on speed today because, one, in our conference, speed is everything. It is absolutely everything. And really the way that football is going, if you don't have a fast team, it is going to be very, very hard for you to win. I think it seems like K-State last year. K-State had really one guy that was really, really fast. And they gave him the ball a lot. Set school record in receiving yards, got drafted really high. And their team was very successful. The first time that I was at Kansas, when I got hired at Kansas, the number one thing that Coach Mangino hired me to do was change the speed of our team. And that was my primary goal, or primary responsibility. So, got there, we did extensive speed training, and over time, it's not all going to happen right away, but over time, we became a much, much faster team. We were able to compete with other teams, like Texas, Oklahoma State, teams that have typically had fast kids. We were able to win. We ended up being the 08 Orange Bowl, the 09 Insight Bowl. Our team speed changed big time. And then with these fast style offenses, you've got to have guys that can run at a high speed for a long period of time. I look at teams like TCU and Baylor, Texas Tech. They've got a lot of fast guys, and they all run this high-powered offense. And so we've got to match that. So when I got to Kansas this time, I looked at our team speed, and we had 4 guys in the program over the last 3 years that ran 4.5 or better. 4 guys. It's pretty damn hard to beat other teams if they're running 4.4s and 4.3s, and your guys are running 4.6s, 4.7s, 4.8s in some cases. So when I assessed our team, I tried to figure out what was going to be our most important thing. And to me, that was it. Our most important thing was to get faster. We had to get stronger as well, but our biggest thing was to get a heck of a lot faster. So I took our team through an assessment. Speed is not just out on the field running and technique and all that stuff. There's so many more elements to getting an athlete faster. All the things that I'm going to talk about today, also, it's not just for football. It really isn't. I use these same principles, the same things with our guys that I had in Indiana. And while we were there, because we worked on it a lot, while we were there, we had 3 lottery picks in the 4.5 years that I was there. And of those 3 lottery picks, we had a 7-foot-tall guy. His name is Cody Zeller. Cody plays for the Charlotte Bobcats. And Cody, all he did was when he went to the combine, we worked. What was nice is they all stayed training with him, and we worked on speed. At the combine, they do a 3/4 court sprint in their 40-yard dash, and he ran faster than 75% of the point guards at that combine. He's got 7 feet tall, 245 pounds, and he's running the same speed as point guards. So there's something to it. There's a reason why you do all this stuff. I'm going to go through some of the things that we do. We do a typical warm-up. High knees, butt kicks. We do a kick skip where we're really stretching our hamstrings, knee hug, leg cradle, lunge, straight leg, dynamic hamstring stretch, and roll out. Trying to stretch all the components to help us run really, really fast. Okay, so we don't get any of those pulls. It's typical stuff that everyone does. I put this up here just to put it up here to see that we don't do any static stretching prior to our activity. And I'm sure about no one does nowadays, but we're not gonna sit here and just hold and touch our toes and things like that prior to our activity. We are going to be active in our warm up so that we can perform at an optimal level. Elements of speed. Some of the things that people I think sometimes neglect in getting an athlete faster is shin angle. A lot of people don't really work on shin angle in their athletes. A lot of people train the backside, which is fine, but I call it compressing the spring. If you look at these two pictures here, okay? The guy on the right, he's at 86 degrees of flexibility in his ankle. The guy here on the left is at 75 degrees. So this person here is able to compress that spring, so now it can uncoil and we can have more explosion. So how do we get to this point? Well, me personally, okay, if you look at the front of my shin, the muscle in the front of my shin is pretty pronounced because I've done so much speed training that now my dorsiflexion is really, really good. Really, really good. I was also really, really fast in college. I don't really like it because I can compress the spring and unload all that energy, okay? So what that allows me to do personally or any other athlete is if you train the tibialis anterior, okay, it will help them be able to pull that toe to their shin, and now we're getting to a point of being able to get that angle smaller, explode, run faster. So when you're training your athletes, some of the exercises to do with this, you can have them sit on the ground. What I'll do with my guys is we'll sit on the ground, we'll have a band attached somewhere, and we'll just work on pulling the toe to the shin, okay? Or we'll do a U with our foot, so we'll go down and around, down and up, to really build that muscle and get it a heck of a lot stronger. And we do that 2 times a week. And it is a must in our program. I did this at Indiana. Our vertical leaps were crazy. It's just a part of it. Arm swing. Huge. I saw some, we've kind of gone through this today with some of the other presentations, guys, talking about arms running here that kids they'll revert back to what they're used to doing, okay? It's supposed to take 21 days to change a habit. 21 perfect days to change a habit. So every day, we are doing this every day. If you ask my guys, what is your arm swing supposed to be? Now, mind you, I've only been at Kansas this second time since January. But if you ask any of those guys right now, what is their arm swing supposed to be, they will tell you cheek to cheek. This cheek to this cheek. That is where our arm swing is going to be. I was able to, while I was at Indiana, watch Bernard Robinson here on the left. Unbelievably dynamic guy. Oh my gosh. Super athletic. When you look at his arm swing with the football, he's got it high and tight with the ball. He's up here at this cheek, that hand's back there. Fastest man in the world. Fastest man in history. Same thing. He is accelerating as hard as he possibly can, and his arms are exactly the same. We've got the 90 degrees with the arms. So we work on this. I'll have them sit on the ground, and we'll just work on that movement. I'll have them stand, and they're just working on that movement. When those arms start to collapse, then we're using those small, weaker muscles, and we have no power. We have no power, and I call it beating the drum. You see guys running like this. There's no power in beating the drum. So we're working constantly on that drive, driving the elbows back, pushing it back, because the response is it will come back to you. Okay? Knee drive, same thing. Look at both of these guys. Look how high their knees are. I try to overemphasize our knee drive with these guys. I tell them I want their knee drive to be as high as their belly button. When we're training it, that is their cue. I'm always trying to give them mental cues of where I want them to be. I want that knee drive up as high as their belly button when we're doing our activities. So then when they're running, No, is it going to be that high when they run? No, but now we've got that flexibility, that strength, that mobility to do that. Okay? Stability. Stability in your movement. If your lower body is not stable, you are not going to run fast. When I first got to Kansas, we started off so light in our weight training. I listened to these guys talk about they're lifting with just wooden dowels. That's how we started. We started off with wooden dowels or with just the bar so we could build up stability in our movements first, in our joints. So we'll do different things, hurdles, clamshells. We'll do some different things with our hamstrings, glutes. One of the most important things for me in core control. We do so much glute work, and a lot of this stuff comes from the assessment that I took our team through. We have a thing called Fusionetics that we do, and we take every single athlete through it. It's like a single leg squat. It's very similar to the functional movement screen, but it has some different twists to it. So I take our guys through that, and it tells me what things we really need to work on to get better. So we will start off with hurdle work. The way that my workouts are set up, we have 4 stations in the weight room. We have turf in our weight room. So I'll have a station where we may be doing hurdles. So our guys,
I'll demonstrate. It's not a big deal.
so what I'll do with as far as our hurdle work is concerned, I'll have them, if the hurdle is, I want the hurdle to be right at their hip. Okay? So as we're doing our hurdle work, I want their hands on their head. So I want to see if they're going to collapse or if they're going to be able to stand upright and brace their core and maintain a great posture. So we'll go forward with it, so they'll go up. I want them to think that their knee is going to their armpit. Okay, so we'll go forward, going up and around that hurdle, all the way up and around. We'll do the same thing in reverse. So I'll move them in front of the hurdle a little bit, so now it's more toward their glute, and we're going to take it up, out, and around that hurdle, just to get that mobility in their hips. We have a big, we do have a big issue with that right now. We do another exercise called clamshell. Okay, hop up here for me. All right, lay on the ground for me. I'm gonna take him through some clamshells. I'm not sure if all of you are familiar with this, but this exercise, as far as training abduction, training your glute medius, huge in stabilizing your leg, externally rotating your femur. What we're going to do here is he's going to open that leg. Okay, open. Come on. All right, don't let me push it down. There you go. Good. Okay, open. Come on. Okay. Hey, get it. Okay, up. Go. Now let's go quick. Down and up quick. Ready, up. All the way to your knee. Up. All the way to your knee. Up. So now, we're up. Yeah. But the feeling you get out of that in your glutes right there and your abductors is tremendous. So when you see your athletes, when you have them do a single leg squat and they're like this, okay? That's primarily what that is. It's a little bit of core instability, but it's a lot of glute, lack of strength in their glutes. It is unbelievable how many athletes you get that come in and they have no glute strength. They can't do a single leg squat. They can't, just a lot of these things that they're just not able to do those. So we'll do clamshells. That'll be also part of our hip mobility work. Then we'll go on to a hamstring seat exchange. So basically what those guys are doing with this